What is up, guys? Welcome back to the garage, Carlisle, my garage. So, I have a new project. Well, daily. New project daily. This guy. Go there. Alright, so, alright. Let's go have a look, shall we? So she's not bad for her age. Like I was saying, got her dirt cheap. Has been washed once at home, and that's it. So she's not too bad. This needs a little bit of a polish for all the chrome trim. You can see there's some like watermarks and whatnot on there. The paint's not bad. Someone did drop a motorbike into the side of it there. You can see that, and that I'll get fixed up. There's another little mark here. We'll get that fixed up too. Now, being the S line, does have the twin exhaust, which is a little bit nicer. Interior wise, leather seats and whatnot, all the standard trim. Do like the aluminium, not too shabby. Interior hasn't been cleaned since I got it either. Just kind of jumped in and started driving. Needed a wagon. Gonna get a tow bar for it, and she will be a fairly practical daily. Considering it hasn't been washed or cleaned or anything, I'm pretty happy with it, and it drives alright. I can only really baby it around because I don't want to be blowing massive chunks of oil, whatnot everywhere. Gotta replace this headliner too. Oh, there you go, see at the back I drove with the windows down, made it considerably worse. Has a sunroof, which is nice. All stock. The main thing is that it's the manual, 6-speed manual. We've got our epoxy down there, some degreaser, some valve cover paint. Not too shabby. And then we actually jump in the car. Now, you'll notice fuel pump comes on. Oh. Reverse lights are obviously not working. Actually, no, they are working. I just have non-CAN bus LED lights in there. So, gotta sort that out too. And just note how long it takes to crank. So that takes a little bit to get it cranking. You can see the hesitation here. And that is a vacuum leak. That is from our vacuum pump. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. It does go away and it does idle and smooth out pretty nice. But there's a few small issues with it, so let's have a look. Is that it has a bonnet strut. So this here was the unplugged when I first got it. So I just zip tied it back on because someone's actually broken the plug and these pins were all the way out. So we're going to work out what to do with those, try and force them back in and seal it up. I got the airbox out currently, took that out last night just because of the slight hesitation under acceleration, which is going to be the vacuum leak. Had like an ancient air filter in there, so I just took it out, see what it does. And we got the little silicon in our map up there. Came around, we got rid of, this is the brand new PCV, and it is blocked off. So there's a cap cam, and it's capped on the manifold as well, capped up the top. And now it kind of runs fine. Take the oil cap off, and it doesn't stall out. So there's something inside. Oop, didn't like that. So there's something inside here. One of these is still like leaking, it's still bleeding into the oil galleries or something. So we're gonna have to try and work out what that is, see if there's any cracks or anything up under there. You can see our rocket cover gasket is leaking. It was leaking real bad, and I just chucked on some grey RTV because I knew I wouldn't be able to get to it. anytime soon. You can see it leaks all in there. Came down the back. So fuel pump obviously is right here. It's this bad boy here. Now what I found is that this cover was already off. Someone had been in there before me, left the cover off. They left the drill bit just kind of sitting in here as well. So it's a little bit peculiar. Doesn't look like anything's been changed though. Everything is still very dirty. Dirty, dusty, like it's been in there for a while. So that is a very peculiar thing. Maybe someone's just had a look to see if there's any loose connections, found that that's not as easy as just a loose connection, and then, you know, kind of just chucked it back together, being like, you know what, fuck it. Someone else's problem. Oh, nice. Next. All right, diff is full, trans is full, oil filter housing is clean, oil filter and new gasket is in. That's all good to go. We're at the fuel pump. I haven't relieved any pressure from these lines or anything like that. Don't actually intend to. You probably can and you probably should. I'm just going to chuck a rag on it because I know fuel's going to get out anyway. Our pumps are out. Our newie and our old one. And how good is it that they're the same? That's always a good thing. They are actually almost identical. This pump is a little bit different. Fuel lines and everything look the same. Everything is in the same place. Everything has the rough same dimensions there. This is the same by the look of it. Yep. This has obviously been in the car for quite some time. You can tell by the color of the hoses and stuff. They would have started out like this. Springs. This one's not as springy as this one. This one's got a lot more life in it. This one's kind of had its heyday. Now plugs look the same. Good. Everything seems pretty legit, so can't really complain with anything there. I guess all we have to do now is get the new one put in and prime her up, see if she's good. Nice. All right, you can definitely tell that bad boy was leaking real bad. So we got her off, and immediately what I can see is that there's a lot of oil coming out of this, like a butt ton. Far too much to be any good. Any good for the motor. We flip her over, and you can immediately see what I was talking about with the cracks. So that to me means not ideal. I believe there is meant to be two separate passageways for this. So this one here is meant to run through to the PCV separate. Not come through here. Gee, it is leaking through everything. Sheesh. Spent a bit of time cleaning this bad boy up. Now, looking pretty good. I was going to paint it today, like the wrinkle coat red, but given our situation where we're at now, we're going to make a choice. I don't have a catch can for it. I will get a catch can for it, and we will go with a return style catch can, so recirculated, and we won't be using the turbo. We won't be using this for the recirculation port. That's simply too big. So options. What we are going to do is we're going to run this. We're going to run the PCV delete, get rid of that because that's just trash. It is going to fail eventually. That's actually brand new. If anyone needs one, you can have this one, pay for postage, you can have it. Dudes, that's right. This was the rocker cover. Oh, the rocker cover gasket, sorry, like, check that. That is why it was leaking. It's the same. Like, lucky I brought these because they were solid. I had to get them out with a hammer. Like, I had to hammer the screws out. This thing was crispy. So there's a vac leak. Essentially, that's what that was. That was a vacuum leak. Bus. Alright, so I swear, every time I start a new clip, that's how I start it. Alright, so anyway, alright, so go on and flap this down a bit. Use a bit of a wire brush in there to clean up all these little bits. And you can really see in there now that there's definitely a defect in there. That should really not be a thing, Audi. I don't know why you decided to do this. This is a terrible idea. Terrible. Look, longevity, like, sure, if you got like not even a race car, you wouldn't do this. A little bit of schmooze on that one. Anyway, wax and grease remover, cleaned up most of the stuff. Now roughed up the edge, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to epoxy this whole seam all the way across. Nice, chunky, thick. And what I'm using is this high strength Permatex 30-minute epoxy. So that'll give me a bit of time to work with it too, to really kind of schmoo it in there. I got some of that 30-second stuff and 5-minute stuff, and it cures far too quickly, like, for it to be practical if you really want to work with it and move it into some places it shouldn't be. But you know, it is what it is, and yeah, let's get this schmoo in there. Alright guys, next day, Sunday, back at it. So the Audis is looking good. The old Audi. How good is that? Rocker cover is glued. Coil packs are in. Spark plugs I took out, re-gapped. They were all actually fine, but checked them anyway. Re-gapped, cleaned, back in. We got all our new bolts and stuff with our new gaskets, little washers and everything. That's all in. It pretty much covers the whole section on top here. Oh, there's this little guy here too, which is pretty neat. They give you like a billet cap because all the Audi fittings are like this. They got an O-ring on the inside, and that was a mission to get on. If you have one of these and you think that it doesn't fit, it does fit. You really just gotta stretch it. You really gotta push it and pull it and get it in there, but it looks good. It's a tight fit, everything's airtight, and yeah, as I was saying, they give you this little jobby here. So there's a nipple on the bottom one, and I just got a cap on it for now because I'm gonna run a boost gauge into the car, and you can kind of turn these around. You can see that there, or you could just cap it off. You can have 3 fittings coming out of there because there is a serious lack of like nipples and stuff on the stock intake manifold. And something I did realize is that they've had this thing apart before, and someone has actually glued like the whole manifold, because the glue is on the inside too. So when I go and get rid of all of this stuff, so this is like the evap purge, all of that, and you can see someone's had a go at that too. There's zip ties, the clip on that's broken, and this is broken too. I might add, it makes a hell, like one hell of like a ticking noise at certain times as well. The old valvey boy for the crank, oh not the crankcase, the fuel tank breather. Let's go in here and see you guys can actually see. I literally just woke up, so this guy, so she ticks super loud. So that's a duty cycle thing, so I'm thinking there's like a block in the line, the charcoal canister's full. Really gotta check the OBD too. Like, I feel like there should be check engine lights like that. I feel like it should be on for things like the air leak and stuff, you know? So I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna maybe even pull the dash and see if that's just been like covered up or something, because it seems just kind of suspicious. Maybe Audi's a little bit more flexible with what they actually give you a check engine light for, but I don't know, we'll look into that. So I still need to do, what we need to do today is the cam follower, that needs to be done. A air intake of some sort with a filter. I could probably put, no I can't because there's no air filter, I binned it. An air filter of some sort, let's go. Because that's, it's not ideal.
What else do we need to do? Oh, and I want to get under there and I want to drain the coolers. Now I say drain the coolers because I'm presuming with all the ingestion of oil and stuff, if it was coming out the exhaust, then it went through the intercoolers. And there's two of them actually. There's a cooler here, there's a cooler over here, which is a little bit peculiar, but it is what it is. So I do also want to get in there and get the bottom hoses off at the very least. You can kind of see them down there. So we'll get there. And at least drain what is residual just sitting there. Maybe not take the whole thing out because it's Sunday, I'm pretty limited on time. I'm going to go out at like lunchtime-ish, going out to Bird World of all things. Going to go check out some parrots and shit, so going with the missus and a couple of our friends, so should be good, might get some footage of that. Now the thing with the intake is, because I am a psycho and I have issues, I'm going to be using the, I think it's going to be like a G25 550. I think that's probably what I'll use, or at least a turbo of that size, slapped right in there. Now, there's a lot of things with these Audis that are stages. So you got your KO3, you get your KO3 billet wheel, and then stage 1 with like a cat dilly, and then stage 2 and stage 2 plus, where people just seem to like it's cool that you can do it like that if you're not so much mechanically inclined. But I'm not really a stage person, so I don't want to go with a KO4 bolt-on turbo that's slightly bigger than that, makes alright power. I'm going to send it. We are going to slap on a custom manifold, G25 550. We're going to go with a billet intake manifold. Probably go to the, I think it's from the V6, maybe the R8. No, I think it's the V6 throttle body, slightly larger throttle body. We're going to get rid of all of this. We're going to get rid of the like all the breather hoses, all the vacuum lines and everything. So essentially all we have left is actually just the brake master. We are going to buy, I think, probably just buy the software to remap the ECU myself. It's a little bit expensive, but given the complexity of what I want to do, I want to be able to change everything myself. We're going to go to maybe some R8 injectors. We'll go with a operated high pressure fuel pump. We are going to go with the fuel pressure regulator. Where is that? I think that is on the bottom. It's like a small little brass valve that regulates the pressure for this guy. We're going to use a rising rate fuel pressure regulator from the tank to the actual high pressure fuel pump. What else we're going to run? Maybe an Aeroflow, maybe a Sheepy Race. I would like to get a Sheepy Race front mount because they're quite tall, and I'm going to run the R8 style front grills, so they're like I'll put a picture. Because you can see the intercooler, there's a lot more airflow to it, they're quite tall. And I don't really want to go as cheap as I did with the Mercedes. I want to kind of ball out on this one a little bit. So we'll go with a bigger front mount and 3-inch exhaust. I did get a quote from a local shop, quite expensive for quite a simple exhaust. So I've already brought the downpipe, which is the first thing that has been wrong in this car. I brought it brand new, but second hand. Old mate sold it as a B7, which this is B7, but this is actually for a B8, so it is slightly different. I was just going to bolt it on, and I was just going to do stages, stage 1, but it's wrong. It fits, kinda, but the flange is wrong. It's 3-inch. I'm going to cut that off and make a full 3-inch stainless exhaust myself for it. So that'll be sweet. And then, yeah, I'll give it a quick road tune. We'll chuck an AFR gauge in there. And there's other things I want to do, like the cam belt, the rear timing chain. We'll want to change the actuator for the exhaust side, VCT, and yeah, it's just a few small things really. Well, I say small, but you know. And yeah, so less rambling. What I was saying is, with the air intake, I'm just going to run some aluminium tube. So I went and brought this bad boy. We're just going to stick that in there. We're going to clamp it down real tight. We're going to cut it obviously so it's nicely angled, and that is it. It's not going to be fancy. It's not going to be I'm not going to weld it or anything because I want to reuse that tube for the intake for the G25, because that will sit here, whereas this comes here, and I just don't want to re-spend that money. And I don't want to build a full airbox for this style of intake. Let's go here, because I'd have to come across here and box it in. I did buy some of the stuff here from Aeroflow, so they make some heat shielding like this to make the box for it, but I'm not going to waste that on a simple setup like this and then have to pull it out and scrap it. I'll just wait until I do the bigger turbo, and then we can kind of work out how the system setup's going to go. And I also want to make my own catch can. I've never done one before, and it just looks kind of cool. I've seen them on Nugget Garage. They've made them out of some plate, and like really tucked them in, like they're macking, like following all the curves of the car. And I was like, dudes, you ain't gonna fit shit in there. You are not gonna fit a catch can. And here's a photo of what I mean. And yeah, no, they did. They put it in there real good. And yeah, so that's the plan anyway. That's the plan today. Intake, intercoolers, cam follower, and that should call it. Might even go for a bit of a scoot, see how we do. And yeah, let's get into it. We're gonna start with the air intake.
2 hours later.
Now, we got it done. You can see the little ducty boy there that I've kind of cut down. Fits kind of nice too. Nice. I mean, it's not perfect. Still going to get quite a lot of hot air, obviously, off the turbo and whatnot. And maybe if I get some free time. So you can see that. And you can see that there. That pool. That is pooling and getting worse. Oh my god. Oh my god! Dude! Wow! Holy crap. That is up. Look how high that is. And that is still pouring out. Oh my god. I'm just going to yeet this out, eh? I'm just going to yeet this out onto the floor. Maybe. Oh my lord. There is no way. There is no way that is still pouring out of there. Dude. Oh, too lazy to move from floor. Oh. Sick. Now, you're just making a mess, Audi. Showing off. Showing off. Trying to be worse than a V-dub. Let's see if I can put you guys down, because I feel like I need to catch this. This is an empty tray. Holy shit. Did you just see that? We are going for round two. Round two, this is the second one. This is our other side, so this is the my passenger side, or like the left hand side of the car. Let's maybe drag. Oh my gosh. Drag our tray over here, because last time it was pretty bad. See if we get, oh yeah, it's pretty loose. See how much we get out of this one, sure. That's a bit tighter. Go with that. Oh, straight off the bat. Wow. Oh, who needs an oil change? Jeez, just drain your cooler. Alrighty boys, we are done. Coolers are clean, engine oil is clean, trans oil is clean, diff oil is clean, intake is clean. We'll get our little duct thing going on. Coil packs, spark plugs are clean. We clean up the loom a bit. We'll get our PCV delete, that looks clean too. Everything looks looking pretty good so far. We are missing obviously a catch can, but I'll be able to sort that out during this week, maybe get it in next weekend, depending on what I got laying around and what the go is with that, because that's quite a large tube, so I'll see if I can find an adapter down to like an AM10 or something.
There's a little bit of chuffing coming out of there, but it seems pretty clean so far. No oil mist, which is good, but we'll take it for a drive, and it's hard to tell with my hands like this, but we'll take it for a drive and see what we find out. Everything else seems to be working pretty good. What's this bad boy ticking again? And it stopped. I am deleting all of that ASAP. We'll still get our cam follower. I'm going to look for some upgrade parts for that. There's like a high pressure rebuild kit you can get for these, so I might do that. Yeah, dude, nearly died. She's looking good, sounding good. I'm going to take her for a bled around the block, see how she does. And yeah, I guess we'll leave it at that. So thanks for watching, sticking with me through the whole lot. Like, comment, subscribe if you've got any hints or any suggestions for future modifications or anything like that with the Audi, do let me know. And yeah, peace.